Hello again. Yeah, thanks for joining me. This is Jeff Jacobs for MetJeffUK.com. I'm going to look at the rest of winter prospects and a look back at what's happened over the sort of November, December time, and check on my forecast and see if I was right or wrong. Yeah, so I said November would start off cold and wintry with some snow showers over high ground, and I thought it would gradually become more settled. I was looking at a higher pressure from basically based over France, and looking at this one, where thinking was it would move north and influence our weather. But I was also expecting for deep areas of low pressure to develop and move into the southwest and the rest of the country. So I was expecting it to be very stormy during November, and indeed it was. I got here like winds could be up to 80 miles an hour and it will feel cold and despite a southerly wind. So yeah, that part of it I got right, I suppose. I can tick a box for that, if you like, for the wet and windy weather, although I was expecting more high pressure, I will agree. And indeed I said that the temperatures would be average. Well, they were above average actually, although that can be disputed at the moment. Rainfall obviously was above average, and weather warnings, well, it was severe winds, and indeed we did get that. So but the actual rain totals, which has been in the media at the moment, may not be actually spot on, and we need to investigate that further, I think. But anyway, on to winter December, and it will start off wet, cold, with some wintry conditions over high ground. Well, we did get some wintry conditions on high ground in the north, especially over Scotland, but generally speaking it was a very stormy month. Temperatures were above normal, and I said they would be below, and rainfall was above normal, which I did say it would be, and got that one right, so I tick that box for that one. Blizzards? No. I don't think anywhere experienced any blizzards in December. So why did we get all that rain and all that wind? Well, of course, we're going to blame it on the jet stream. We always blame it on the jet stream. But why was the jet stream so strong? It was to do really with El Nino warming the air's temperature up. And I think we had a lot of cold air moving down the western side of America. This sort of boosted up the jet stream and made it very much stronger. And of course, it had a direct sort of hit to the British Isles. It dragged all the depressions along with it, and we ended up with a very mild southwesterly flow and a very moist one as well. And as these very moist, warm winds hit the high ground, of course, they started to rise over the tops and dropped a lot of rain over places like Scotland, Cumbria, Northern England and Northern Ireland, and well, most of Ireland actually, and parts of North Wales. And this was a familiar story, I'm afraid, with deep low pressure systems pounding and coming into the British Isles, and winds up to 80 odd miles an hour. Which of course gave us scenes like this, with widespread flooding throughout the country and rivers beginning to burst their banks. This one was at York. So a very unsettled and mild period. But what has the future got for us? This week, as you know, it has turned much colder, and it's going to get colder even still as we go through the week, with low pressure situated to the southwest of Scotland and over Northern Ireland. This is going to swing eastwards and allow much colder weather to push south as we go through the week. So when we get to Monday, this low pressure system over Scotland now beginning to drag this much colder air further south. If we go on the 850, we can probably see it better. So as we go on to, I think this is Tuesday, we see the low beginning to slip itself down the east coast. Area low pressure. It's joined to another one which is over Scandinavia, and in turn they're going to bring this colder air which is over Scandinavia around the top and down across the British Isles. So as we go through the week, we'll find it colder and colder and colder, and indeed probably by the time we get to sort of Wednesday, I'm expecting to see most of the shower activity to be wintry. Indeed, there could be quite a lot of snow about by the time we get to sort of Wednesday, Thursday time. We're also going to experience some complications, if you like. We've got low pressure all over the place here. We've got low pressure over to the north of Scotland, still the parent low over Scandinavia, and these troughs, if you like, of low pressure moving in the airstream, and they're liable to give longer periods of snow. So the snow showers that are going to be moving south could actually become much sort of longer periods at times. So I'm expecting quite a bit of snow actually during Wednesday evening and into Thursday, especially over Scotland, Ireland, and down the western side of the British Isles. Of course, most of the snow, or the heaviest of the snow, is going to be over high ground, up to about 600 feet, snow or sleet mixed in. But over 600 feet, yeah, you're going to have a real problem. We also remember that the surface ground temperatures are still quite warm after a very mild autumn. And I think this will prevent any of the snow, at first anyway, from lying around on the roads, for example, become very slushy. But as with time, as things cool down, we could then start to see a more widespread and a bigger problem with snow showers. So yeah, so the air becoming colder and colder and colder as we go through the week, and temperatures here during the day struggling to get above freezing, especially over the Midlands and northern England, and of course Scotland, and more snow showers coming into the western side of Scotland, to the western side of Ireland. Devon, Cornwall and West Wales could escape most of them here because they'd be sheltered by Ireland, but going down through the Cheshire Gap, there could be some really heavy snow showers. Yeah, so anyway, by the time we get to the end of the week, we've got this low pressure which is situated in the Irish Sea, and that's going to move its way southeast across the country. Now this is going to give quite a bit of snow, I think, in southeast England and eastern England, although more likely to be rain or sleet in the southwest and the southwest of Ireland, as we get this high pressure trying to pump up less cold air. Its source of air actually is off the continent, and as you can see, it's not going to be as warm as we've experienced over November and December, but just high enough. So this then moves into northern France, and as it does so, it pushes the cold air back across most of the country apart from Western Ireland. So any rain looks like turning back to snow here for a short time anyway, as we go into Saturday. But as we go into Sunday, the very cold air is being pushed back into the continent as high pressure to the south pushes somewhat milder air further north. We then get a depression beginning to develop in the Bay of Biscay, and we've got to keep an eye on this one because this looks like it's going to deepen as it moves towards us and could actually give us a bit of a into sort of next Tuesday. So as we go into to 20th, we're getting the feeder winds now coming off the Atlantic, so things beginning to become less cold. Still quite cold though over Scotland and Ireland, but generally speaking, temperatures recovering to where they should be, and outbreaks of rain spreading up from the south. Of course, this will be preceded over Northern Ireland and Scotland with a period of snow. But looking further ahead, things are beginning to turn a little bit pear-shaped, unless if you want snow. GFS wants to push the high pressure back over France again, sort of a status quo to what we've been used to, so some southwesterly winds beginning to move north and temperatures recovering here, although watch out for this cold front as it moves south later. Yeah, so as this cold front moves south around about Sunday or Monday of the following week, the 24th, it's going to have some colder air becoming behind it. So I think we're going to find it turning just a little bit colder as we go into the final week of January. So yeah, this is the current situation with GFS, but not all models are going this way. Indeed, some of the models are going into a very wintry mode for the end of the month. High pressure, this is from the GFS earlier in the day at the OZ one, and it's been preceded now by the 0600 update, but previous to that it was giving us high pressure and very cold air from Siberia. Now this was to happen, it really would be a very cold outlook indeed. So that's something which we've got to keep an eye on. The mild one could be a flip, and we could be actually heading into this one. But time will tell. I'll keep you updated on what's going on in the weather world. But let's hope your sun shines for you.